Hi, it's Jenny and Cozy 101.1. Today's real funny friend is Moshe Kasher. If you wouldn't have said that to me before.
We went over this before.
I know what I was going to say, because I'm like, and I got it right when it first time.
I walk through the world with this name, so I'm used to people mangling.
Yeah.
I've been called Moesha. I've been called Marsha. I've experienced this my entire life. So I just double checked. It's Moshe Kasher here at Cozy.
Kasher.
Hold on, I'll do it. It's Moshe Kasher here joining us at Cozy
101.1
Denver. Here in Denver in the Mile High City, where the beer comes from, and the hikes are good.
Oh yeah, I don't hike, but the other one I agree with.
Where the mountains are tall and the beer is cold.
I like this. So he's here, of course, going to be at Comedy Works, Larimer Square, downtown. Had shows last night. Thank you for waking up early. I always feel bad, like, having you guys come in so early, but I love to see you guys, and we want to promote that you're out there. And we're at workstations, so as people are at work, it's like, what am I going to do tonight? It's Friday. I want to go and see some comedy. We need a laugh. So make sure you check him out at Comedy Works. You also do a ton of other stuff too. So well, first of all, your podcast with your wife.
I do a podcast with my wife. I work at Best Buy on the Geek Squad. I drive for Uber here in town. So if you need a ride to the show, I'm actually your guy. You
know who you reminded me of, actually, is the pommel guy, Steven.
The who?
The pommel horse guy from the Olympics. Remember, he's like
really?
The hero. They call him the Clark Kent of the pommel horse. He's actually on the Dancing with the Stars now, like this little kid, but he's got the cute little glasses like you. And
Cool.
he took him off to do the pommel horse.
Oh, I remember that guy. Everybody said he was kind of sexy.
Yeah.
I remind you that guy.
Yeah. I like nerds,
nice.
though. I mean, I like nerds. I have to say, I like the little, like, I like the glasses look, whatever. Your wife, if she's listening, is just saying. But, and he's, same kind of thing. I think that look right now is like really in. So is that part of your comedy too? Is like, because you are a little bit of
pommel
a nerd?
Horse?
No.
I do incorporate a little bit of pommel horse in my comedy. Yeah.
I mean, like, because are you a little nerdy? Like, are you into like?
Am I a little
what
nerdy?
Specific?
That's honestly an offensive question.
Well, no, I'm not saying like in a bad way. Like,
no,
what do you nerd about?
What do I talk about?
What do you nerd about?
What do I nerd out for? Morning radio, for sure. Colorado morning radio.
He's like, I'm never coming here again.
No, I love you.
I say his name right off camera. I can't say it right on camera.
No, you're doing great. What do I like? You know what? Honestly, my comedy, I nerd out about the people in the crowd. That's what I like. I like people, and that's why my show is. My shows can be super interactive, and that's a lot of fun. Last night we had some great stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I do this like wheel of crowd work thing. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I am the pommel horse champion of crowd work. And we do this like wheel of crowd work thing that's a lot of fun. Last night alone, we had there were two women in the front row, and both of them had discovered that they were both being cheated on by some guy named Evan. And instead of canceling her tickets to come to the show with Evan, she brought the other girl.
I love
and they
that.
were in the front row. And then there was another guy that had been shot in the head. So that's sort of the spectrum of crowd
welcome
interaction.
to Colorado.
Yeah. So we have fun.
But we have a melting pot here. I mean, we have a lot of everything. So I think every night, especially if you're a reactor, you're going to get like different people in the crowd. I love that you like find their stories, like watching some of his videos. If you haven't followed him on Instagram, it's like you find it, you're like, wait a minute, what? The one couple, I can't remember the millennial one. So we have a note to millennials, and you just kind of go with it.
Beverly, yeah, that was a great moment. Yeah, Beverly was a beautiful older woman who raised her hand and said, I have a message for the millennials. Sex is better after 70. And I don't know that that's true. But I'm going to find out.
She seemed really convinced.
She was clearly correct.
How do you keep a straight face for some of this stuff? Like, is there ever moments where you just bust out laughing? You're like, I don't even think I can comment on that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's never great when the audience is funnier than me, but it is something that happens. And I love people. I think that's why I talk to them so much, because in every crowd, there's a cool story. And we found a great one last night. And we're going to find a great one tonight and tomorrow.
Yep, Comedy Works, Larimer Square, if you want to laugh. So you and your wife, both comedians, both hilarious. How do you guys not like just laugh each other out of every argument?
Oh, we find a way. And we find a way to turn the arguments from really funny to really toxic. we search for it, and we're successful a lot of the time.
I just always feel like that would be a good sense of humor. Like that's a thing. Like if you have a relationship, having a similar sense of humor is probably good.
It's fun. We do get to laugh a lot. We have a kid that is now funny as well, and that can be good, but it can also be a bit challenging. Like, we use sarcasm a lot in our family. And the other day we were at another family's house, and my wife was like, "No pizza for you," which is, by the way, a very low level joke. It's not that hard hitting. Kid starts bawling, and then we realized, oh, not every family raises their children with sarcasm as the primary communicative principle.
It's a love language in mine too.
That's right.
I'm Italian, so it's like our whole entire family. That's what we do. We kind of, and you gently bully each other just a little bit, but like in a joking way.
You eat over the sink, and you bully each other.
Actually, I do eat over the sink.
I know. I married an Italian woman. I know what's up.
That is so. Oh my gosh, I never even like put those together. But yes, I do eat over the sink. That's that's the thing. But yeah, I love the sarcasm. And he's got a little girl too. So 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 9-year-old, and then they start turning your sarcasm back on you, and you're like, I'll have to allow that one actually.
Well, it's a weapon that you handed them when they were born, and then they use it to stab you. So what can you do? It's your fault. Why'd you give them the sword if you didn't want to get impaled?
Okay, so it's everything as a parent is our fault, right?
I would say that's primarily true. Yeah.
I'm like, we're just trying not to mess them up too bad that they go to prison or something like that.
Well, apparently she pulled the dog's hair yesterday because the dog stepped on her foot. And Natasha was like, "That's unacceptable. You don't do that." And she said, "Actions have consequences," which is something that I say to her when she does something wrong. But it's like, no, that's not how it works. You don't physically. First of all, we don't physically punish you.
Yeah.
But we're about to start.
Yeah.
If you pull the dog's hair again.
Yeah. I always do that. How do you like it? And I'll go and pull her hair. Mom, why? I'm like, well, this is what it is.
Actions have consequences. And then
she's used that against me too.
But you love each other, and you share a cannoli over the sink.
That has happened as well too. It's like you're reading my mind, and it's a little. You do.
I'm married to an Italian woman. I know your world. I know your life.
So do you see yourself, like even like when you go to the grocery store and stuff like that, like do you just talk to everybody in line like you've never met a stranger?
Oh, you mean because I like people so much? I like people in a very controlled environment.
Okay.
I like people when I am the alpha, and I don't mean alpha male because, take a look, but I mean like I'm the alpha performer, and your job is to talk to me. Out in the world, no, I'm not trying to talk to people.
You're like an introverted extrovert?
I wouldn't say I'm an introvert. I just, my love for people extends exactly to the stage.
I like it.
When I'm amplified and everybody's like, "That's the guy," now we're talking.
I was talking to a comedian about boundaries. You have to have boundaries because otherwise people will come up and be like, "Hey, can you do that again? Do that joke again." You're like,
Last night I was trying to get some dinner after the show with my opener, Tim Young, very funny man, having a great time. And a guy came over, he's like, "We're at the show. That was great." We're like, "Thanks, man." He's like, "Cool. I'm going to sit down." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he's like, "Hold on, let me get my friend." And then 4 people came over, 7 beers, and the girl came over and goes, "We got kicked out of the show." And I'm like, this is going to be a long dinner. So I don't have boundaries, I guess is the point. Because they sat down and we had a long dinner.
No, my goodness. I cannot imagine. Why would, I just can't understand. That's cringy for me that people do that.
After enough, if you're drunk enough to get kicked out of the show,
you're
drunk enough to sit down and have dinner with the headliner.
Did they say why they get heckling?
I mean, it's
loud.
always the same thing.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I mean, I almost got kicked out once for Kevin
Nealon. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. You got kicked out of a comedy club?
Almost.
You?
Almost.
You should know better.
I know, but I have a loud laugh.
Right. Wait, you got kicked out for laughing too loud?
Almost. Allegedly almost got kicked out.
No one's ever been almost kicked out for laughing.
I was laughing pretty loud.
Okay.
And I might have had some mommy juice. Well, it's like you have to have 2 drinks. It's a 2-drink minimum. And I don't do anything halfway.
Well, we like loud laughers at my shows.
Well, thank you. See? I love this. And Kevin Nealon did too. He joked about it like he was... But so I think the comedians are always a lot more lenient than the staff sometimes have to be.
That is 100% true.
Because they are kind of like the defense for you guys.
That's right.
So, and I had respect for them. I was like, I'm so sorry.
They can be the asshole.
And I'm like, try not to laugh the rest of the time.
No, laugh.
I love this.
Don't hold it in. You die young that way.
I was going to say, I'll probably have an aneurysm. But don't forget, Moshe Kasher.
Nope. What was
I
cool,
had it right.
To be honest, what was cool about that last one is you messed up both names.
Kasher?
And that was fun. Oh, you got that. There we go.
I was going to say Kasher.
Moshe Kasher will be at Larimer Square.
Because I like the Kasher and the Rye. I could always remember it because I'm a visual person. Kasher and the Rye.
That's the name of my first book.
Moshe
Kasher. I just released a second book, actually. Kasher and the Rye is the first book, a tale of my teenage addiction, insanity, and Subculture Vulture. Both bestsellers, by the way.
I love Subculture.
Subculture Vulture is what happened next, how I sort of wove myself through 6 different worlds: the world of stand-up comedy, the world of the 12 steps and AA. I got sober when I was 15.
Oh, wow.
The world of the rave scene. I was a rave promoter when I was all through the 90s, and an ecstasy dealer. The world's first clean and sober ecstasy dealer, actually. Burning Man, where I will be next week. I'm going for the 24th time next week, and I worked there for like 15 years. The world of the deaf. My parents are deaf, and I was a sign language interpreter. In the world of the Hasidic Jews, my dad became like a born-again Hasidic Jew. So I write
all of those.
I write a history of all 6 of those worlds and my time in them. So you can get that too. Come to the show at Larimer Square. Buy my books. You can have a Moshe Kasher kind of weekend.
Moshe Kasher.
You did it. Oh my God, that was beautiful.
I'm never going to get that wrong ever again. Moshe Kasher.
So beautiful.
See? I can be taught, people. I can. I think it's funny that you're more awake than I am and I do a radio show, but I appreciate you so much. It is going to be at Comedy Works, Larimer Square, Moshe Kasher. Make sure you check him out.
You did it. Oh
I'm telling you, now I'm in.
Beautiful.
Once you say it like 3 or 4 times, right? Moshe Kasher. And you better get it right tonight, too.
You don't have to say it. Actually, you don't have to
we
say my
love you,
name
Moshe.
tonight. That's nice.
See?
Then you get kicked out.
Allegedly almost getting kicked out. Check him out at comedyworks.com. Get those tickets now.